Okay, hi everyone. You should be thankful that I'm not in class today because I will have made a lot of people stand. Alright? A lot of you didn't do as well as you have expected. Okay? I was expecting you to do better. But when I look at your answers, I look at how you handled the questions, I was not surprised that you all didn't do so well. Okay? A lot of these mistakes are sloppy mistakes. They are not stretch mistakes. Why do I say that? Because a lot of you, I've nagged at you so many times to do your APC, your analyze and annotate the question and analyze it. Okay, and then plan your answer, and then check whether your planning answers the question before you write. Okay, I've mentioned many times I don't need you to write out your planning. So because of that, this is what some of you do. Okay, you either don't do all three, or you just pretend to analyze by highlighting and underlining the words. Okay, and then didn't even bother to plan and check. So for many of you, I wrote on the cover page, where's your APC, or you did this, but from your answer, it's very clear you did not plan or check. So I asked, where's your P and C? Don't just do A for show. Okay, you can pretend that you don't know you did APC by annotating and analyzing, but it's very clear from your answer whether you have planned, whether you have checked before you write. Okay, I've been teaching for 10 over years. It's very clear from students' answer whether they plan or didn't plan. Okay, so if you just want to get out of trouble and anyhow do, this is what you get, you don't do well. Okay, humanities is a thinking subject. We are here to build your thinking. This is not like primary school science where you can just dump out a bunch of things and then somehow get some marks. Okay, you can't do that in geography because we are not checking your recall of the content. You're not checking how much content you memorize. You are testing how well you use the content. So based on what you have learned, how do you pick out, let's say for this question, right? How do you pick out what you have learned, organize it to answer the question? Okay, so even if you understood all the content, if you are not applying your skills to answer the question, you're not thinking and picking out the relevant things to answer the question, all right, then obviously you will not do well. Okay, so I'm not saying that you all don't put in effort to study. A lot of you have clearly studied. Some of you clearly didn't study, but majority did study. Okay, but why are you not doing well? It's because you did not work on your thinking skills. Okay, and these are sloppy mistakes because if you were more careful with these steps, you do the steps properly, you would have done better. Okay, or if you think that I'm just talking about it hypothetically, let me show you some data. All right, I've looked through the scores for all my students in this class, 2AC, and also 2EG G3 students. Okay, so there's about total of close to 80 of you. All right, there's about close to 80 of you. So I combine both data to show you that it is the case for majority. Yeah. Okay. Now I've really seen that it works for my ex students, and I'm showing you for your cohort you are not that different. Okay. Now what does each bar represent? Red bar represents those students the scores for those students who did not APC. There's 25 of you from both classes. Okay. Orange bar refers to those who annotate but clearly did not plan or check the planning before they write out the answer. Okay, there's 17 of you, and there's 32 of you who done APC properly. Okay, so the top number is the highest percentage, highest score for those in the respective group. Okay, so as you can see, those who analyzed but didn't plan and check, the highest was just pass. Okay, the bottom mark is the lowest score for the group. So as you can see, those who did not do APC, where are they? They come from the group that did not do. Those who did APC on average, the lowest, I'm not talking about average, the lowest is just fail, higher than the rest. Okay, so as you can see, APC does matters because it helps you to think more carefully and answer the question. Okay, and then what's this blue dot in the middle? Blue dot is the median, the average. That means this is the 50% mark. Okay, so what it means 50% of you have scored 12 of those among those who did not APC. 50, and on average you all failed badly, 37.5%. Okay, 50% of you, the half of you lah, that means about 12 or 13 of you, scored between 12.5 to 37.5%. Okay, now the remaining is not because you scored evenly distribute here. This 75 was an anomaly. Majority was either at passing mark or below. Okay, so the majority are not even passing because they don't do APC. Okay, and also those who pretend to do APC by anyhow highlighting, anyhow annotating, but never plan and check prayerfully, they are not doing any better. Okay, on average is also bad, 37.5. Okay, but if you look at those who have done APC, on average they are getting a B. Not even passing, it's above passing, it's a B. That means 50% of them here, there's 16 of them, okay, scored between B and A. Okay, and this is only a few of them failed, majority are above the passing mark. Okay, so the statistics from your cohort, okay, from all my years of teaching, 10 over years, okay, I have seen that it works. And if you think that your group or individual, some of you are so special, okay, here's the data from your cohort to prove that it is not. You are not that different. Okay, APC doesn't only work for certain groups. It works for most students. Alright, yes, there's only 1 or 2 of you who don't need APC. 1 or 2 out of close to 80. What are the odds that it helps you? Okay, and if you think that okay it helps me now, I don't need to change, why do I still insist it? Because as we learn tougher skills, especially when you go on to upper sec, social studies, okay, I don't care whether you do geography or not, alright, but even when you do social studies, all this analysis, planning and checking is crucial skills. Okay, you think that you can get away with it now, but when you go on to tougher skills in upper sec, you will not be able to. Alright, so please do this properly. The statistics have shown, alright, for your cohort even, statistics for your cohort, it works. So I don't understand why people need to be stubborn about it. Okay, and if you're not convinced, let me show you another set of statistics. Now, WA1 was open book. Okay, of course, people are going to deprove from WA1 to WA2 because WA1 was open book, WA2 is not. Okay, look at all the amount of deprovement. Those who did not APC, those who pretend to analyze, never plan and check, okay, on average, how many percent do you drop? 25%. Okay, so that means you have easily dropped by 4 or 5 grades at least. Alright, whereas those who did APC has the least amount of dropping. Okay, so this is not made up by me, this is your results. Okay, if you're still not convinced, you still want to be lazy, you still want to get away with not doing your APC, all I can say is don't expect miracles to happen. You will continue to not do well. Okay, and it's not because the lack of effort in revising, it is not because you don't know your work, it's because you're not doing the right things to help you with your thinking, which is what we are assessing as well. Okay, this is longer primary school. You still want to follow primary school methods when the context have changed, then you'll continue to not do well. And it is because of your choice, it's not because of other factors. Okay, so if I was in class, those who did not do APC, I will ask you to stand for the whole lesson, like what I did with another class. Okay, consider yourself lucky that I'm not here, and please change the habits. Alright, lastly, some of you, very clear you did last minute cramming. Okay, so things don't, instead of making them learning the stretch mistakes from your GA, you are making them now in your WA. Because you anyhow do your GA, so now your WA, you're learning the stretch mistakes from your WA. Okay, you're making the stretch mistakes in your WA as a result. Alright, so please take your work seriously. Okay, I don't give much homework, but it's for you to take it seriously so that it helps you improve as much as possible. Okay, so let me go through the answers now, and you will find that you would have done much better if you're more careful. Okay, now let's take a look at the first question. First question asks you to compare the changes. Alright, what some of you did was you didn't read the word changes. You didn't check when they talk about changes. So you just compare year on year lor. So this is what you do 2011. Okay, so what you do is, for example, city A is higher than city B, then you give me the evidence. Okay, this is not a change. Right? Change is something that increase or decrease over time. So since this is not a change, you have not answered the question. Okay, even if you put the year, this is not a change, so you will not get the mark. Okay, so to change, you must talk about, let's say, from 2011 to 2013, what happened. Okay, this is what some of you do. City A like that, then from 2013 to 2015, city A. Okay, then some of you do this. Again, I've mentioned many times, this is not a comparison. Okay, because you're just describing A, describing B. There's no comparison. I must find the similarity and differences for you. So this is what you should have done. City A, and then what happened to city B? City A, what happened to city B? Conjunction. Okay, that would have been a comparing of change. Alright, so 4 marks. I should expect to see 4 comparisons. Alright, some of you only wrote 2. I already mentioned many times, after WA1, statement plus evidence is only 1 mark. Okay, now what some of you did was you compared year on year, and as a result you couldn't get the 4 marks. Alright, I've mentioned many times to you all before, when you do geography, when you look at describing data, you need to group them together. You need to find patterns. Okay, so you're going to have a question appearing on your puzzle now. Alright, and I want you to answer before I move on. Okay, how should I group the data? What are the patterns to talk about? Okay, I give you some time to think through and respond. Okay, are you done? So what are some of the patterns that you can see? First thing, you need to talk about the overall. Oops, sorry. Oh, wrong one. Just a moment. Okay, so first one, you need to talk about overall, right? You must always talk about the general. So from 2011 to 2015, is it a similarity or difference? So city B overall increase, city A overall decrease, so it's a difference. So city A has a slight decrease by how much? You must remember to calculate the difference, then use the conjunction to show difference. However, or wow, or but. Okay, city B has a huge increase by how much? Okay, so the first pattern you can talk about is the general. Alright, so if you get DG, that means it's difference and it's about general. This is the mark given. Okay, how else can I split them? Alright, you can see that for city B, 2011 to 2014 is fluctuating, but 2014-2015 is a major change. So I can split it like this. I can talk about 2014 to 2015. I can talk about 2011 to 2014. Okay, so you must put in for yourself lah. All right, so this is for 2014-2015. I put it as like it's an anomaly. It's different from the rest. So you got DA means that it's anomaly. 14 to 2015. City A, what happened? By how much? And however, city B, what happened? By how much? Okay, there's another mark. Alright, then I can talk about 2011 to 2014. Okay, however, city B has a, now, I know it's fluctuating, so we don't expect you to use the word fluctuating. Okay, if you are, some of you talk about fluctuating, you can, but you didn't give evidence, like it fluctuate between 6.8 to 6.9. Alright, but since you didn't learn fluctuating, the bare minimum we expect of you is from 6.9 drop to 6.8. Okay, so have a slight decrease by 0.1 million tons. Okay, so difference, then similarity. Where are the similarity? Alright, so similarity, you can see that there's 2 similarities, 2011 to 2012, 2013 to 2014. For both cases, they are similar, as in both have a slight decrease of 0.1. Okay, so since these two are the same patterns, decreased by 0.1, writing both is still the same pattern. Okay, so actually writing either one can get the 1 mark already. If you write both, you're still only going to get 1 mark because it is the same pattern. Okay, so from 2011 to 2012, both city A and city B had a slight decrease of by 0.1 million tons. Okay, now if you don't write 2011 2012, you can write 2013 2014. Either one is only one, either one is fine, but if you write both, it's still 1 mark. Okay, so now I have 4 marks here already, as you can see. Alright, now we also accepted 2012 to 2013 this time, but the rest we must see some pattern. Okay, so we must see at least the overall and the 2014 to 2015. Okay, so be careful. A lot of you forgot about the patterns. Now you can pause the video to write down your corrections for what's missing. Once you're done, just press play. Okay, yeah, you're done. Let's move on to part B. Okay, so part B, you're asked to label with an X or with 2 X's. Okay, 2 possible locations where private developers may develop formal housing. Okay, so all the green areas is what we accepted. Near CBD, some of you here, okay, fine, we accepted. Green areas, fine. Not on the marsh, definitely. Okay, and then those that are too near the red and orange, the industrial areas, we will not accept. Okay, some of you will argue, sure, formal housing can be found near industrial estates. I don't deny that, but the question here is about private developers. Okay, people who build condos, people who build bungalows, people who build terrace housing. Tell me, where can you find them next to industrial estates? Okay, so there isn't, so that's why we can't give them up. Okay, so you can put the X here, you can put the X here, any of the green zone is fine. Alright, now some of you may put X side by side, we only accept one because it's the same location. Okay, or you may put it at opposite ends, it's fine. 2 on different part of the parks also fine. Okay, as long as spaced apart, it's not the same location, it's fine. Alright, now for the next one, for each location, you have to explain why you locate it there. So for those of you, let's say put all in CBD, you only have one reason, then the maximum you get is 1 mark. Okay, or if you put both at parks, the maximum you get is 1 mark. Now some of you might be thinking, sure, city boundary, do I need to put it within city boundary? Now if you look at the question, is there any mention of city boundary? Okay, so there isn't. Alright, and also it's very possible for people to stay outside of city boundary. Alright, you do have housing bungalows in the quieter parts away from the city, so that it's more private, or they can buy more land. Okay, so it is not wrong to put it beyond the city boundary, because we did not require you to put it within the city boundary. Okay, so what are some of the things to explain? Well, for those who put in the park, what happens is that a lot of you are just describing the location, you're not giving me reasons. So for example, you tell me, oh, park, they are built near park, they are found near park because got park. So what is the reason? Okay, park, because maybe they can relax, there's recreation. We also accepted recreation. We accepted we also accepted beautiful scenery. Okay, some of you said built near main roads, alright, because it's easily accessible to other parts of the city. Okay, so it's a built main roads is convenient. Convenient for what? To pee, is it? Okay, so convenient to go to other parts for work or for shopping or whatever. Okay, and then you can talk about near CBD because it's near their workplace. I can accept that. Because it's more prestigious, can accept that. Okay, because it offers real retail and financial service, can accept that. Okay, a lot of you say it's near office, easier to go to work, accepted that. Okay, but what we cannot accept is near amenities like office. Hello, since when your workplace is an amenity? Okay, second thing, some of you say is near amenities like shops. The shops in CBD, where's the CBD in Singapore? Raffles City, Raffles Place, all the tall buildings, Shenton Way, City Hall, Orchard Road. Do you go to those shops for your day-to-day living? Okay, or is there a need for you to live near Prada, live near RV, alright, to live near, if there is no reason to live near MBS? Okay, so if that doesn't really affect your living, it doesn't make sense to call those amenities related to housing. Okay, so those who just say because they are near amenities, we did not accept it. Okay, so please take note of these things. I'm going to give you some time to do your corrections. Once you're done, just unpause the video. Okay, you're done ready. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, this one is quite badly done because people are not explaining. Okay, so the question asks you how each of these strategies adopted by Singapore got to do with Singapore. So what you talk about must be related to Singapore. Okay, ideally you should tell me what Singapore does, the exact figures, but we are not expecting that in Sec 2. Okay, but bare minimum what you tell me should be relevant to Singapore. Okay, so long-term land use planning, what is that? Land use planning is about the government coming out with guidelines. All right. Okay, so if you don't want to talk about the land use, okay, you don't talk about 40%, at least tell me that there's enough land for different users. Okay, so since there's enough land to meet the different needs, developers won't be competing so much, the land prices will remain low. Okay, and then as a result, it will be cheaper to build houses, and that's why the prices will be lower, making it more affordable. Okay, or people are more able to pay. Okay, now the question asks you about affordable. Some of you just vomit out from your notes, talk about why does it prevent informal housing from developing? Okay, or how does it develop more formal housing? Can you please read the question? All right, second one, housing financial support. If you can tell me what are the grants, good, some of you can do that. If you cannot tell me, at least tell me that they give grants to low and medium income households. Okay, and then since they need to pay less for the flat, they are better able to pay. Better able to pay means affordable lah. Okay, so only very little, 2 marks like that, good enough. Now some of you talk about subsidizing the developer. Okay, you say that they subsidize the developer to buy land. Unfortunately, that's not what happens in Singapore. Okay, they more subsidize more of the building costs. Okay, so that is why they can still sell at a lower price, earn a profit, and the price is something that more people can pay for. So idea of can pay for that means affordable. Okay, so I give you some time to do your corrections. You can just pause the video, and when you're done, you can continue playing. Okay, are you done? Let's move on. All right, so this is just examples. You can talk about how much is the grant and stuff like that, but we're not expecting that from you at Sec 2. Okay, bare minimum, it must be related. It is something that's possible in Singapore or is being done in Singapore. Okay, last question. Very, very, very careless. Okay, now using photograph A, you have to explain 2 ways that it impacts natural environment. All right, now some of you said that, so all of you can identify correctly. There's garbage, there's human waste. Okay, where is your careless mistake? People are not observing. Some of you tell me, oh, the garbage cover the whole water body, so there is no they block out the sunlight. Where is the garbage blocking the whole area? All right, even if the garbage is only a few floating, all right, it still doesn't cover the sunlight so much, so it's not relevant to the question. Okay, some of you said just copy out from your notes, oh, when they develop housing they cut down the forest. Where is the evidence for that? Okay, I only see a few houses. What is this evidence that they destroy a lot of nature area? Okay, so please observe before you write. Okay, now how do we get the 2 marks? First mark is the I and D. What is happening in informal housing? And because you're supposed to explain, so you must give me reason. Why are they doing certain things that affects nature and environment? Okay, so for example, why are they throwing garbage into the water? What is the reason? Why are they dumping their waste into the water? What is the reason? Okay, then the second mark for both ways is you must explain how the natural environment is being affected. All right, now if I told you, I'm telling you for the last time, please stop using words like affect. Please stop using words like impact in your answer, because both can mean positive and negative. So when you write affect, when you write impact, they say therefore it affect the environment, I don't know if you mean it's better or worse. Okay, then instead of writing affect negatively, affect positively, why don't you just tell me straight how exactly are they affected? Did the ecosystem collapse or what? Okay, so first one, why let's talk about the garbage first. Okay, let's talk about human waste first. All right. So why do we have human waste? Why do they put human waste into the water directly? Reason is because they lack basic sanitation services. Okay, and since they lack the service, that's why they need to dump the water, the waste that defecate directly into the river. Okay, so you put trash disposal. Hello, since when your poop and pee, your defecation is being cleared by trash disposal through rubbish bin? Cannot, right? Okay, so please answer correctly. Okay, now a lot of you are able to explain that it then when there's sewage pumped into disposed into the river, a lot of nutrients. You may not write nutrient and phosphorus is fine. You can talk about nutrients is good enough. Okay, how it leads to algae bloom, reduce oxygen, and then disrupt aquatic ecosystem. Okay, now for this assessment, if you did not talk about ecosystem, we did not minus marks. We still give you the mark if you wrote this. Okay, why? Because for some classes, the teachers did not emphasize on this. They did not require. So it wasn't fair for the whole level to require that. Okay, but I warn you, it's only for this WA we give chance for not writing about ecosystem. Okay, so this is the part about the sanitation. All right, you need not phrase exactly the same way, but the steps should be similar. Now let's go on to the next one. Okay, so the next one, all right, is about the garbage. So why do they pollute the water with garbage? Because they lack garbage disposal facilities or garbage removal services. Okay, so they have no choice but to dump it directly into the river. So how does it affect the aquatic life? Okay, you can talk about how it cuts. Okay, so you can talk about how it cuts or kills or choke or whatever. But a lot of you are very clear about this. Okay, and then how, or even some you talk about it leaks out chemicals and pollutants and poison, and therefore it kills the aquatic life, and then how it disrupts the ecosystem. Okay, so a lot of you, what happened was that your first two parts was not so well done. All right, the first part is not so well done, so please take note of that. Okay, so pause the video to do your corrections, and then once you're done, just unpause. Okay, I hope you're done. Okay, so now we've gone through this. I have a bit of reflection for you. They will appear. Okay, what have you done well? What have you not done well? The most important thing is we must learn from our mistakes and move on. Okay, so I know you're upset, but I hope this is a wake-up call for you to really change, all right, and grow. You cannot use your primary school methods anymore. I've been talking about this since Sec 1. Okay, Sec 1 end of year, it was a wake-up call already. You all don't want to follow. Now it happens again. If you don't want to wake up now, then the next time it will shock you will be your end of year exams. Okay, whether you are going to take geography in upper sec or not, you need to have these thinking skills to pause, to analyze, to plan, and to check. Okay, regardless of subject, you need to do that. You go to higher level, it's going to get worse. Okay, so you need to grow your thinking skills to adapt to what is needed in secondary school and beyond. Okay, so I'm going to end this lesson here, and I'm going to pop up some questions for you to enter your reflection. Please reflect carefully, respond properly. Don't just anyhow do just to get over with it. Okay.